Hello friends, welcome to Total Recaps. Today we are going to explain a movie named Mohenjo-Daro, released in 2016. Mohenjo-Daro is a Bollywood movie set in the ancient city of Mohenjo-Daro during the Indus Valley civilization. The story follows Sarman, a young farmer who dreams of visiting the city and discovers a corrupt regime ruled by Maham, the tyrant who controls the city with an iron grip. Sarman falls in love with Chani, a high priestess who is also Maham's daughter. Together, they uncover the truth about their past and fight against Maham's tyranny to save their people and the city from destruction. The movie is filled with action, drama, romance, and stunning visuals depicting the ancient civilization. So sit with popcorn and enjoy this interesting action/romance film. At the beginning of the movie, we are shown that a boy named Sarman along with his friend Hojo goes to the Indus River to hunt a crocodile, because of which all the villagers are worried. After a fierce battle with the crocodile, Sarman kills the crocodile with a trident weapon, ties it to a bullock cart and takes it to the village. In the next scene, we see that after reaching the village, all the villagers gather there and congratulate Sarman. And the head of the village also praises Sarman. When Sarman goes to his house, his aunt is very angry and says, "Why my son comes first in every work?" Because she loves Saravan very much. Both his uncle and aunt live in Sarman's house. His uncle Durjan cultivates indigo on the banks of the Indus River. When Saravan goes to sleep at night, he sees a big horned animal in his dream. And a big city is visible on the bank of a river. When Sarman wakes up in the morning, he tells his aunt about this dream. So knowing this, his aunt gets worried and tells her husband about it and says Sarman is growing up now. Like every time, Sarman insists on going to Mohenjo-Daro for the business of indigo cultivation. But his uncle forbids him to go there. So he gets angry with his uncle and goes to his house. And makes a plan that he will go alone at night towards Mohenjo-Daro with his friend Hojo. The next day, early in the morning, he tries to go secretly with his friend Hojo with indigo's 2 pots, when his uncle Durjan is seen standing in front of him. And makes Sarman sit near him and says, "Don't drop the price of your indigo there," and gives a coin and says, "This coin I am giving. Opening it at the same time when you are in trouble." Like every time, instead of Sarman's uncle Durjan, Sarwan himself goes to Mohenjo-Daro for business with the villagers. After going there, he sees that many traders come from far and wide to do business there. And Mohenjo-Daro is a very beautiful city, in which traders from abroad also come to do their business. When Sarman enters Mohenjo-Daro, there a beggar named Jajiro tells him to go away from here. This is the city of greedy people. And Sarman gives his sheet to that beggar. Then Sarman asks Mohenjo-Daro's constable about the beggar. Then the constable tells that he is a mad beggar here. Then he meets a boy named Lothar in Mohenjo-Daro who is the keeper of Mohenjo-Daro. Hojo and Sarman wander around the city of Mohenjo-Daro. Later, his village uncle tells him to set up a shop for his goods after seeing a good place, otherwise he will not get a place here. Then Sarman takes his goods and sets up his shop at a place. After that, many traders start coming there. And then 3 or 4 merchants come to Sarman. And they say, instead of 8 bags of paddy, give 2 pots of indigo. Then Sarman does not listen to the traders. And says instead of 10 bags of paddy, you will get 2 pots of indigo. Then Lothar comes there and says this time the market is a little down. So instead of 8 sacks, give them 2 pots of indigo, otherwise these people will go to another merchant. Then Sarman gives his 2 indigo pots in exchange for 8 sacks. Then in the next scene, we see that after a while Munjo, the son of the head of Mohenjo-Daro, comes there riding on a cart of 2 bullocks. So the farmers there tell him that this time, due to lack of cultivation, paddy has not grown. If they are given a field in 4 square kilometers, then Munj says that only 2 square kilometers of land will be available for cultivation. If the field is to be taken in 4 squares, so every girl from your lower town will have to be sent to me every night after the moon sets. When a farmer gets angry with this and speaks in front of Munjo, Munjo kicks him on the chest and makes him fall down. Seeing this, Sarman picks up that person and tells Munjo that instead of a piece of cloth, 4 square kilometers of farming should be given. The price is the price. Meanwhile, Luther comes in between and removes the crowd gathered there. And he apologizes to Munjo for Sarman. That he is new to the city of Mohenjo-Daro and is not aware of the rules of the city. In the next scene, we see that Sarman makes up his mind after seeing this that he will not do any more business in this city and tells Hojo, "Let's go back to our village. Then Sarman's eyes fall on a girl with a beautiful face. And he is fascinated to see her. And makes up his mind not to return to his village. Then Saruman asks Lothar about that girl. Who is that girl? Then Lothar tells him that she is the daughter of the priest of this city. Sarman likes that girl, and that girl's name is Nandini. Now, in the assembly of Mohenjo-daro, the head of the farmers tells Pradhan Maham that you were expelled from the Harappan civilization, and now you will be the reason for the destruction of Mohenjo-daro. And the Mukhya speaks in favor of reducing the debt of the farmers. Then the Pradhan Maham conducts a debate there that who is in favor of reducing the tax. Then no one there speaks in favor of the farmers' chief, and after the meeting, the Maham kills the chief of the farmers and impales him on the banks of the Indus River. When Saruman learns of this, he rushes there with Lothar and asks him why so many dead bodies are hanging here. So Lothar tells that the people of the lower city in Mohenjo-daro can neither be burnt nor buried. Sarman is very surprised to hear this. Now Sarman goes to see the girl in the upscale market where the big guys live. To go there, he uses a one-horned animal coin given to him by his uncle Durjan. There Sarman sees that the horses standing there get distracted and uncontrollable on seeing the bullocks, and he quickly runs towards Nandini and her father Pandit coming from the front. Her father becomes on the side only, then the horses run fast towards Nandini. Seeing this, Sarman quickly runs towards Nandini and controls the horses. Seeing this, Nandini falls in love with Sarman. Nandini tells her friends about this, that Sarman saved her life. Then the girls accompanying Nandini say that you have fallen in love with Sarman. Then Nandini makes a plan to meet Sarvan, that without wearing a mask she will go to the market with her friends to meet Sarvan. Then there she goes out to the market with her fellow girls wearing other simple clothes. And no one recognizes Nandini there. There she sees Sarman feeding the oxen. Meanwhile, Sarman's eyes fall on Nandini. He recognizes her and starts talking to Nandini. He tells Nandini that how are you in this dress today? Then Nandini tells him that come, let me take you for a tour of the city, come with me. When Sarman is taking a city tour with Nandini, Pradhan Maham's accountant sees Nandini and Sarman together and goes and tells Pradhan Maham about it. Pradhan Maham hears this and talks about the marriage of his son Manjo and Nandini with the Pandit. That as soon as the next two suns rise, he will marry Nandini to Manjo. So hearing this, Pandit Pradhan tells Maham that there is still some time, Nandini is small. Now, to increase the farmers' tax, Pradhan Maham's soldiers announce in the small town that the farmers' tax has been increased from doubling to 4 times. When Sarman comes to know about this, he tells his soldiers that no farmer will pay 4 times the tax. When Maham comes to know about this, that some youth is supporting the farmers, he tells his soldiers to find out about that youth. Now after 2 sunrises, Maham organizes a program in his palace. When Sarman comes to know about this, then he takes another form and reaches that event. And after the program is over, he secretly enters Nandini's room. Then after some time, Manjo comes to Nandini's room and says, "What are you doing, Nandini?" Here Nandini is hiding with Sarman and says from inside that I am changing clothes. He then asks Nandini, who was that boy with you in the small town? She tells that my friend was with me. Then after that Manjo leaves from there, and then Nandini hears someone calling from outside. Nandini sends Sarman out through the back way. While leaving, Manjo's father Maham sees Sarman. He immediately goes to the Pandit and tells him that now Manjo will be married to Nandini. Sarman seems to know this. He sneaks into Nandini's room where Nandini is getting ready for the wedding. He sees that Nandini appears before him in the form of a very beautiful bride. She tells Sarman that when I was born it was decided that I would be married to Pradhan Maham's son Manjo. Sarman then tells Nandini that you do not love Manjo. How can you marry him? Meanwhile, Manjo enters Nandini's room and Sarman and Manjo have a heated fight. Seeing that fight, the villagers also gather there. Pradhan Maham learns that this is the boy helping the farmers, then he says that he will be given the death penalty. On the request of Nandini's father Pandit Ji, Maham, instead of giving her the death penalty, asks her for an ordeal and says that this is Sindhu's justice. The name of that ordeal is Beggar Joker, and he is put in jail. Now Nandini's father Pandit comes to meet Sarman in jail and tells him that before Maham, the head of Mohenjo-daro was your father surgeon. But Maham became the head of Mohenjo-daro after getting your father killed by deceit. At that time Maham was thrown out of Harappa city after being caught in theft case. Then Maham thought of becoming the head of Mohenjo-daro so that he could take revenge from Harappa. He got a dam built on the Indus River and got your father killed by the people of the city on the charge of stealing gold from the Indus River and became the head of the place. Your father was a very courageous man, and in the meeting there, your father was in favor of not building a dam on the Indus River and Maham was in favor of building a dam, so that there can extract the gold buried below in the Indus River and buy weapons from abroad in exchange of that gold, so that he can take revenge from Harappa. Both of them got equal votes in the assembly. When Surjan asked Nandani's father Pandit to raise his hand as to whose side you are on, Pandit raised his hand towards Maham due to fear of Maham, and the chief there became Maham. Knowing this, Sarman comes to know that this city is his father's life, so now Sarman becomes uncontrollable to avenge his father. The next day Sarman's punishment is Bakar Joker in the palace. Then many people gather there. Bakar Joker is a very terrible cannibal human, due to which Saravan fights a fierce battle. And in the end Sarwan kills both those dreadful human, Bakar Joker, and passes his test. Now all the townspeople turn towards Sarman and Sarman seeks the help of all the villagers to avenge his father from Pradhan. When Sarman wins the test of Bakar Joker, Maham feels that his throne will be taken away from him. So he tells his son Manjo to kill Nandini and her father Pandit. There Manjo secretly kills the Pandit in Sindhamata's temple with a weapon and tries to kill Nandini as well, but Nandini escapes from there and Manjo also runs after Nandini, but Nandani finds Sarman in the middle. There is a fight between Sarman and Manjo, in which Sarman kills Manja. When Maham comes to know about this, he gets scared. And now further Sarman goes to see the dam built on the Indus River with the help of the people of the village. So, climbing over the dam there, he sees that on the other side of the dam, the water of the Indus River is filled up to the very top. Sarman, with the help of the people of the village, sees Maham's soldiers taking the gold from the Indus River, and making a plan, snatching gold from them on the way, presents Maham's soldiers in front of the village and tells that Maham buys weapons from foreign countries by building a dam on Sindhamata and extracting gold from it, and collects weapons to take revenge from Harappa. Seeing this, all the people of the town turn towards Sarman and decide to remove Maham from the post of Pradhan and think of taking Maham captive. When there is a vote again in the assembly, this time everyone gives their vote to Sarman and Sarman makes Maham a prisoner. Then at the same time it starts raining. So Sarman tells his friend in the village to climb the dam and see the Indus River. Now Sarman keeps Maham captive in the middle of the village. Just then Sarman's friend comes running and says that the water has gone above the dam. Hearing that the dam is about to break, Sarman gets worried that if the dam breaks, the entire Mohenjo-daro city will be washed away. So he gathers all the townspeople and says that we have to take all our belongings and walk across the river. We can all be safe on the island across the river. Saruman, along with all the townspeople, builds a bridge by tying many ships to zodiac signs to cross the river. He sends all the villagers from one side of the river to the other through the bridge. At the same time the wall of the dam is about to break. As the water starts flowing over the dam, Sarman gets all the villagers to cross the river. He also tells that beggar Jajira to cross the river, and on the other hand Maham tries to cut his rope which is held captive at the crossroads in the middle of the village. Jajira refuses to cross the river, so Sarman Jajira while crossing the river leaving the other side. The wall of the dam breaks and the water comes very fast towards Sarman. After that Sarman swims through the water and goes across the river, and Miam, who is a prisoner in the middle of the city, flows fast in the river. The water gets washed away in waves and the city of Mohenjo-daro slowly gets washed away in the arms of the river. Thus Sarman is able to save the lives of the people of Mohenjo-daro, and thus the movie ends.